Dorothy's here. Good morning, Dorothy. For those of you, oh, good morning, Katrina in Alaska.
Hi, Katrina.
Good morning, Tina. Yes, there's already a train, Carla. I know. We'll have to draw a prize here in just a second. Good morning, Leslie in Pennsylvania. Good morning, Nikki. Good morning, Melanie in Florida. Melanie, I'm headed to Florida to the Keys here in just like 3 weeks. I cannot wait. It has rained and poured here in Washington.
Yes, and we are also jealous. We want to go with her.
Yes, we did have a train already. Right as soon as I hit live, there went the train. So as soon as I get all set up here, I'll draw a train prize. Hi, Tina in Illinois. We're going to give it another, just a little bit here, just so everybody can get a chance to get on. Good afternoon, Valerie in Virginia.
Oh, right.
It is, isn't it? Good morning, Sheila in Long Beach. Hi, Jean in Maryland. Hi, Debbie in Florida. Sherry. Hello. While we're waiting for a few more people to get on, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys today, or show you what today's special is going to be. If you spend $40 before shipping, we are going to throw in a free card kit. It should automatically add to your order once you hit $40 before shipping. Good morning, Myrna. Good morning, Carla. So throughout the day, if you see stuff that you want that we're showing or things like that, go ahead and you could log into your account online, start adding things to your cart, and then at the end of the day, you can check out, and then likely you'll be over $40.
Except for events.
Yes, except for events. This does not include events, but anything in your shopping cart. So this is one of the card kits, and again, they'll be random. Good morning, Kathy in California. Good morning, Vicki in California. Either that card kit, this card kit, or this card kit. Anyway, it'll be random. There's not a choice on that one. We'll just kind of throw in as we come to it, but add to your cart throughout the day. Just leave them in there, and as soon as you hit $40, it'll add a free card kit to your order. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and get set. Oh, let's let Patsy say good morning.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to our one-day event here for spring. We're welcoming spring with hoping for some really nice weather. It hasn't been so much. We did have a storm forecast the other day, and I have to tell you, all my employees went home because there were supposed to be big golf-size hail, and it was supposed to be tornado warnings and all this stuff, and they went home and it skirted around us, and my employees I know we're really weird like that, but they were so disappointed they missed the whole entire storm. It went north to Seattle, which we're thankful for, but yeah, my employees were disappointed, so no hail. So anyway, we have a lot of things going on today, a lot of things to show you of upcoming events and things, so we will show you the Club Q, what we have coming out this month, next month.
April. Yeah.
April, okay. And then we'll also show you the free one. If you've never signed up for Club Q, then check out the free one. We'll show you that one. Private Reserve, we're going to throw in a few peeks at some of the samples we have for our Private Reserve, and those are 4 locations this year. One of them is in Texas. We're going to come back to Texas. And then the 5th one is online in November. So all of those will be held in September, except one of them will be early October. We'll give you the dates in a little bit. I'm going to show you a sneak peek of the convention classes. So if you're in the area of a creating keepsakes convention that A to Z will be at, then you can take one of these classes. Actually, I'll be in Denton, and I think Breezy will be in Denton, and Deidre will be in Denton. So come by and see us there, and that's June 6th and 7th, I think. Then we will also have, we just hot off the press yesterday, Stacy and I were scrambling for 2 days trying to get the June 28th, I think it's June 28th, don't quote me on that, but I'll let you know, one-day event again, and what would be the price on that?
$59.
$59, okay. And then we also have, people are asking about, we always do the months, and sometimes we're a little bit behind on that, but the January, February, March months are ready to go that we just designed. We have specials. Oh, I have to tell you, where did this little thing go that Mary always... Oh, here it is right here. If you got one of these little finger, what do you call these, Breezy?
They're finger cots, technically.
Finger cots, yeah. Finger cots. Mary calls them condoms. But if you get one of those in your kit, that's Garage Mary. She put those in there, and if you get one, don't be embarrassed. Just let us know, and she will send you a prize. And she'll be here later. She'll be here later to teach the last class. And we'll have train prizes. And with that said, I think we should get going. What do you think?
Yes. Explain about the train, though, for those that are new.
Oh, okay. If you are new, okay. When we started these during COVID, actually, we couldn't go traveling, so we started these during COVID, and we worried about what do we do with the train going by all the time. And Andy came by and said, just give out a prize. That's what we do. So if you hear the train come through, then you know that we're going to draw for a train prize. And if we're so used to it, we may not even hear it. So you might have to remind us that the train's coming.
Other times it feels like it's coming straight through the building because we were right on the track. So I'll get this all set up, and then we've already had a train. So I will draw a prize here in just a second also.
Okay. Give us a minute here and we'll get all set up. And this one here takes some punching out. The main thing,
sorry, hang on, I got my cords all tangled up.
The main thing to start punching is the big circle with all those little squares to punch out. So you could start on that. The little tiny things like the fine, even flowers, the little branches, don't worry about those. Remember this, don't worry about that. Those things will do last just because they're a little time consuming, and those things can be done on your own. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started on and pretty much I'm going to give you a few minutes here just to get the main things punched out. And what I mean by main things, we're going to work on this page first. So this big circle here. Oh, that's funny. There's a...
Hang on, I got to find your volume here. You turn your volume up.
So this big circle here. We good?
Yep.
Okay. So that's funny. I had this laying right on top of it. It must have been off of another sample. So this is sample for first page. Go ahead and punch this piece out first. Punch out these little squares. These little pieces are actually going to be scraps, but some of you are going to have a hard time throwing those away. Somewhere you can make some embellishments with those, I'm pretty sure. Punch out this little decorative border. There's 2 pieces to that. Don't worry about flowers right now, and don't worry about these little branches like you see like these. Don't worry about those. They're really fine, and when you do punch them out, be really careful because they're tiny.
Real quick, we'll put in here our first train prize winner. As soon as we turned on the video, we had a train. So Eva King, you're our first prize winner.
Eva, first prize.
And there's no need to email us or worry about claiming them. We just automatically send them out to you. If you're a Club Q member, that'll go with your next Club Q. If you are not, we'll just ship it to the address we shipped your event to sometime next week.
Okay, so, yeah, this takes a little time, each one of these, but all these little tiny embellishments and pieces are what make your, the entire thing pretty. So be careful when you punch out these little, if you get to these. If not, we'll do these at the end. So again, don't worry about flowers, don't worry about the little branches. Get out the big circle, punch those pieces out. These circles with the scalloped edges, the little rings and circles with scalloped edges, we can use those, but we can also do that as we go along. So once you get that circle punched out, then we're going to do a little bit of cutting. There's not a lot. So this is, while you're cutting, this is the goals for page 2. It's got this flap that ends up, this all ends up on the outside of the page protector, okay? And then you have one space for lots of photos, another space for lots of photos, and another space for lots of photos, and another space. So lots of room for pretty little spring and summer pictures. Isn't this paper gorgeous? This is also just really brand new. I forget, this is called French Riviera, I think. Yeah, I guess it's written right here, French Riviera. And it has lots of shabby chic, fun colors for summer and spring. Okay, so the main thing again, just have this circle punched out, and now we're going to take a minute and do a little bit of cutting, and each one of you have, these two papers will be our backgrounds, so let's set 2 of those aside, and then these 2, the purple, and the purple has stripes on the back, this piece has yellow on the back. So these 2 pieces are what we'll need to cut using our cutting diagram. So find your cutting diagram, and it's usually on the next to the last piece of paper that's in your kit. So if you haven't found it, it's down there a ways. So locate this, and each of these pieces that we're going to cut are part of this 4-piece flap here. So go ahead and use the cutting diagram, set it up in front of you, and use these dimensions to cut your 2 papers, these 2 papers.
Can I interrupt you just a second?
Yeah.
If you see any weird links in the comments, please don't click on them. We have not posted any links currently. I've already deleted 2 comments with the person's name is in Arabic symbols. This is the first time I've had that happen, so I'm going to monitor it. But they had posted links in our comments. So if you see anybody with Arabic symbol names, please don't click on anything they're posting. I'm trying to catch them and delete them, but don't click on them.
That's dangerous. I don't know why everybody can't just behave and have fun with this instead of making everything so difficult. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut my purple piece. And first cut, I'm going to make that 5 1/2. And I'm going to turn it and cut it off at 10. Set that aside, we'll use it on page 2. And then the second purple piece is actually 6 inches. and 11 inches long. Also for page 2, so set that aside. Now we're going to go to the floral piece. And I'm going to cut this one off at 5 1/4. 5 1/4. I'm going to turn it and cut it at 9 1/2. Set that aside with those also. And then this piece is 5 3/4. By 10 1/2. So there are 4 pieces for page 2, and that's going to be the little flip book that we're going to make later. So go ahead and get those pieces cut out. Use your diagram here. And you should end up with 4 pieces that are 4 different sizes. So this is what you should have at this point, and we're going to set all this aside and use it on page 2. We'll start with page 1. Okay, so we will be using these as the background page. I'm going to go ahead and trim off this label. And it helps to go ahead and measure it at 12 inches because sometimes cutting off labels differs. See, this one pretty much goes right up to the edge of the label. There are some that come back from the printer that are like a 1/16 of an inch off, so it's a good idea to go ahead and measure it out at 12 inches. I'm going to go ahead and do both of mine because they both need trimmed off. And I am not going to chalk the edges of this. This is really hard to do. It's so fine and flimsy that it's hard to, and plus this solid purple like this really shows up well on the back side. So I think we'll save the chalking for the edges of square papers and flowers and the little circles. So this is going to go onto your page like this, and let's leave the bottom part without any adhesive, because we're going to put together our photo mats in a minute, and then that's what we'll tuck in underneath. So add a little adhesive just at the top.
Talk about that glue a little bit and that fine point. We have it on our website.
Oh, okay. We do carry the Barely Art glue. I know a lot of you know about that. It's awesome. It has this tiny little fine point that gets in the smallest little places, and sometimes when you have something like this that it's really hard to use double-sided tape on. This little Barely Art glue with the tiny little tip, mine is messed up because I've refilled it so many times, but it goes on so small and makes it so easy to go ahead and get something glued down without having to use your double-sided tape. And how much are those, Breezy?
I believe they're $12.99, and then there's refills on there for, I think, $18.99 or $19.99, but the refills are huge.
Yeah,
like,
the refills are
they'll
big.
last you forever.
Yeah, lasts a long time.
And then we have the caps for them also. They come with the pin for them, but some people are preferring the little caps, so we have the caps for them on there also.
Okay, so Now that we have that glued down just at the top, because see here, we want to make sure we can tuck these photo mats in. So the next thing that we will do here, I'm going to set this aside for a second, we have photo mats. Look like this. And there's not a lot of photo mats because most of the pictures are pages for pictures are underneath. Remember this, okay? So you have lots of space here, but we're going to have just 2 photo mats for page 1. So locate purple one that has little diamonds, floral, and a little smaller purple one and a smaller floral. This is a great spot to go ahead and add some color. Some of the, and I forgot to talk about the chalk inks a little bit, but we have some awesome new colors. This is our new box. It looks like this. Some of you already have these. I know a lot of you have these. Looks like this. It's called the Gemstone Collection. And we have colors like sapphire, ruby, amethyst, citrine, black opal, agate, turquoise, blue topaz, brown jasper, malachite, and smoky quartz. Gorgeous. So what I think we're going to, and look at this, you could use just about anything. And I'm going to say we probably may have used a green on this one. That really works well. Or you can try the amethyst. And I think I'll try that one just so you can see what it looks like. I need to open mine up again.
Cousin Rana is watching from Sharon Springs, Kansas. She says, good morning.
Hey, Rana, how are you? I hear your sister moved to Texas on us. We're going to have to go visit her. Okay, this is the amethyst, and I think this would be really pretty, but I'll test it out for you. Yeah, it looks good. So amethyst works well. There's also purple passion, that would work. Amber, that's a really pretty yellow. And malachite, nice green color. I'll show you what the malachite looks like on it. It's almost a Kelly green, a little different green than we've had before. So when I chalk this up, I like to get the corners just a little bit more. I like the amethyst on there. I think that would be probably my favorite, but I'm going to try this malachite. It's kind of a deep green, almost a Kelly green. It's a little bit brighter, a little bit bolder, so if you want to use the green, that works. There's also other greens too, like weeping willow and what's the other one? Avocado. Those are also good ones. So choose your color, chalk up your edges. I'm going to actually add a little bit of amethyst to the edges of the purple. And there's no right or wrong to chalking. No right or wrong whatsoever. You just do your own thing. And some people like to do this, and it gives it a little chunkier look. And I tend to, a lot of times, just do this because it's really fast. And I go back and do the corners just a little bit more. So chalk those pieces up. And then once you get some color on there, the color that you want, go ahead and use some adhesive and add it. Add the floral to the purple. Okay, there's your 2 photo mats. and get our piece back out that has the circle, the decorative circle. And I'm just going to tuck this in so I can see where I want it. Then I'll take it back out, add some adhesive. So pretty much like that. Because you know that this is going to get covered up with a lot of this right here. Here's this little flower and this tiny little flowers in this border. So it goes up pretty close to the top. And if you need to, look at your instruction sheet. You can see where they end up. I'm going to go ahead and add a little adhesive and get mine glued down. And I'm just tacking mine in place because mine is a sample. Okay, should look like this right now. Okay, the next things you are looking for are two pieces that look like this. There's a purple border and a little script border with some little, maybe little flower pieces, floral pieces. And it's going to go on about like this. It's probably about a ½ inch up from the bottom of the page, a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to add some, and I think I'm going to go back to the amethyst and add some color. I have to tell you too that we decided next time, just for fun, to change it up a little bit. Instead of the little mini project at the end, we are going to do one more double page layout. So that will make 4, and we'll have Garage Mary come in and teach that one too. It's always fun to have her. Lead you through some things, and then just remember, if you have a little finger caught in your kit, that is her, and she would love to send you a prize. I mean, we have people that are too embarrassed to let her know, so if you want a prize, just let Mary know when she comes in later this afternoon. And when you get to little spots like this, you have these tails that you could get in, but what I like to do is just gently bend it like that, and then it gets into that spot without any trouble, and it's nice and smooth. Just a thought. Try that if you want to.
I have somebody asking, what is that glue runner you're using? I'm assuming they're meaning this. If you want to tell them it's an ATG.
Well, actually, this says Breezy on it, so evidently I've stolen her.
Well, I don't use it anymore, so.
I know, she has way too much to do. This is a Scotch tape glider. It holds a big roll of, here, I'll open it up and show you. A lot of you have these already.
It's called an ATG gun, so
Yeah.
if you're searching it, it's ATG, and I think it says it on the front there.
And we used to make Breezy load them for us because Stacy and I were that lame. And finally she said, no, load your own. But really, it's super easy. You just wind it around, click it. But these are really nice because they do hold a lot of tape. Okay, let's get this glued down.
And Garage Mary's comment is, yikes. She must be a little nervous about teaching this afternoon.
We'll give her a margarita and she'll do just fine. She always does. Okay, so about anywhere from a ½ inch to maybe close to an inch. Goes right here, okay? And then I added some amethyst to the edges of this little piece with the script writing across the middle, a little flower piece. I'm going to add some double-sided tape there. Okay, how are we doing? If I get way ahead, let me know. I'll slow it down a little bit. These things are pretty basic and pretty easy. So once you get these two pieces on, I'm going to set it aside, and I'm going to show you the pieces we need to locate. There's 2 purple scalloped circles. There's 2 scalloped rings. There is 2 tiny, skinny little rings. And then we're going to need the burlap, okay? So locate all these pieces here. And I'm going to chalk these edges up before I do anything else, just because I'm going to try, no, I don't have any here. There's other purples that work really good here, too. If you have, we used to have one called Huckleberry, and there is Purple Passion. That's another good one. That's one of our very, very first ones, and we still carry that. This one is Amethyst, so I'm going to go ahead and just use it. And I think I'm going to try something different on the edges. I'm going to use the this is the amber. It's kind of like almost a tomato soup color, but once it goes on more of a yellow-orange color. So I'm going to do that on the edges of this scalloped ring. And if you want to do the inside, you take the little tail and just gently pull it around as you get just a light coat on the inside of that ring. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to do the other one, same color. You know, this is my favorite thing to chalk, is things with just a little bit of different than a straight edge, anything with a little scalloped edge. It goes on really pretty. So what I'm using is amber. You know, another one that is really good is, I don't have one here. Citrine, I think that's what, yeah, that's what this one is. So this is another one in the new box. Also really pretty. Let's see what that looks like on the inside here. So either one of those would work really well for this little circle. So all of these are part of our gemstone collection. Okay, so now we're going to take these 2 pieces and we're going to lay on, get some little scissors out. I'm just going to cut this in half because we need it for 2 different ones. And basically you're just going to be trimming off the edges so they don't show around the outside edge, okay? And then we're going to glue it to the back side of these rings. So just lay it on, take your scissors and do a little trimming so that you don't see the edge of this burlap. It's kind of messy, so you clip it, kind of makes some dust.
So we had some comments on here about the ATG gun. Someone said that they quit making them, which they may have, but I do see them online places. Amazon, so the one we use is a 1/4 inch, so you need to make sure that Because I see the difference is one does a 1/4 inch and then one does 1/2 inch or
Right.
3/4 inch, and
Yeah.
those are kind of too big for scrapbooking, really. But so if you buy one, make sure you get the 1/4 inch. I think. I see Michaels has they're for $39.99 listed. Amazon has them for $91.
Oh my gosh, $91.
Uline, the box shipping company I see, has a version of their own, but it looks like it would hold the same tape. It's just a little bit different shape. For $44. So
Usually they're red. This 1/4 inch ones are red, or I think you can get the pink ones at Michaels. This is where I get these
yeah,
sometimes.
I'm not seeing them listed anymore.
Probably not anymore, but I think if you're looking at the yellow ones, I think those are the
yeah,
1
actually
inch.
it is pink. Michael's. So anyway, it does look like there are still some out there. How long that will be, I don't know. Somebody said that they have quit making them, so hard to say.
Okay, so now we have our little burlap cut to fit behind. Let's grab our wet glue again, our Barely Art glue again, and add a bunch of glue around the inside edge of your, and I'm saying a bunch. I don't usually use a bunch because you don't need a bunch with this, but this burlap, it soaks it in really quick. And so you do need to use enough to make sure it's going to hang in there. If I'm doing something tiny, it just takes a spot, and then, but just also know that it's not real forgiving when you want to scoot things around a little bit. You have to know exactly where you want things, and to peel it up is hard. So sometimes when we're designing things, we just put a little tiny bit of ATG gun or double-sided tape just to get us from beginning to end, and then we go back and glue things down. So anyway, now you have little burlap behind each of these, and now once you get that all put together, you're going to take, and one of these purple circles is going to fit pretty much right at the inside edge of your white scallop circle. And then the other one fits just outside of that inside edge. So it's going to look like that. So once you get the burlap glued on behind, go ahead, and here's where you can use your tiny little dots. Tiny little dots of glue. And you can scoot it really quick if you are quick. Now it's probably already too late to move it if I wanted to, which then I get real frustrated because I didn't get it glued in the right spot to start with. Okay. And then, again, lots of more glue onto the back side of each of these, and they go onto the center of your purple piece to build yourself a pretty little flower. So once you get the burlap on, once you get the little skinny purple rings on,
Teresa Leaf says, absolutely love these colors, so bright and vibrant. And a lot cheaper than the real gemstones, huh?
yeah, I would say. I don't have real gemstones. Mine is like a $5 ring from Mongolia or something.
Tracy Blakely says Tape Jungle has their own version of those tape things, and their refills are great value. So
yes, Tape Jungle. I thought maybe they had gone out of business, but they're still
I don't know.
awesome. That's good to know because there was at one point where we were having trouble finding it, but that's good to know. Okay, so we're going to use one for page 1 and set one aside for page 2. So I will set this one aside, get my piece back out here, and then this is going to go about right here. Okay, And then that's all we're going to do to this page for the moment. The only other thing that we have are these little tendrils of purple and white, and then our layered flowers. Those we're going to do at the tail end. So go ahead and get this glued down. And we're going to move to page 2 and do the little flip book. So we make sure we have time to do all that. So then your flowers will cover up right here. Okay, page 1 is just about done. It's just a little bit more. So let's set that aside, and now we're going to come over here. And I think we will work on the book part first, because some of this is super easy, and that way we'll make sure and have this done. We can work on all this at the end. So let's get out our other. Actually, I'm going to set this aside for just a minute. This is what we want to get out right here. These 4 pieces that are all different sizes that you cut in the very beginning. What we're going to do now is, if you have a scoreboard at home or a score pal, then this is a good place to use that. If you have a scoring tool for your trimmer, this is where you want to use it. If you don't have any of those and you just have a trimmer like this, is kind of like what I have here. I'm really lazy, so I don't take time to dig out that piece. I will just line it up. I want everything scored at, at 1 inch across one long side. And I think the only one that you might want to take a look at is this yellow one, because the writing, you don't want to put the score line here so that your flap is upside down. If you do, you know what, nobody's ever going to know the difference, but just in case that is something you want to make sure. Okay, if you only have a trimmer, and I'm saying a trimmer that has the groove, like the Fiskars trimmer here that I have, and a bone folder, you can use that as a scoreboard. So you bring it in to 1 inch and gently score it a couple times across the top. Set that aside. And on this yellow one, remember that you want to make sure that your score line is at the top, and at the top means so your writing is legible. Each piece at 1 inch across one long side. And you want to be kind of only do a medium pressure when you score things, especially on a trimmer with a groove, because that groove is pretty deep. And if you score it too hard, it makes your paper weak. And you can also put a little hole into your paper. So just be careful. Just use a medium pressure on all 4 pieces. And then I'm going to fold along that score line. And I use my bone folder to flatten it out. Just go ahead and fold all of these along the score line that you just made. So 4 pieces. Makes a nice area for lots more pictures. So if you have a dozen pictures, you can have room for all of them then. Okay, now that we have those all scored, folded, let's set them aside. And what I want you to do is pick out the biggest one, the longest one. Okay, and that would be this purple one. And I'm going to suggest you can round the corners if you want to, but that's something you can wait till the very end. So let's not do that right now, but if you have a corner rounder, that can be done after you get everything in place. And that would be the corners that are opposite the score line. So this first piece, we're going to add adhesive to the striped side on that 1-inch section. And I'm going to use double-sided tape here because it's easy to get on. And it also is a little bit forgivable if you get this in the wrong spot. And sometimes this is a little bit tricky. So now you're going to line up the score line. Actually, you're going to center this left to right, line up your score line. Okay, there's your score line, there's the top of your page. Line up your score line with the top of your page, and then this will fold over, and that makes our first flap, our first page, okay?
I have somebody asking what this paper line is.
Which one? This?
Yeah.
This one is French Riviera. It's our brand new one. Now this one is not. This one's a little bit older, and I don't remember the name of it.
Flip to the other side. What is it? That one is One Fine Day, I believe.
One Fine Day. Okay. So therefore, and we have a whole entire paper line to this. Maybe I'll have Breezy grab. Do you want to grab the pieces to this so they can see what the rest of it looks like? It's beautiful. It's a real shabby chic look on most parts of it. Okay, there's your first one. Grab your second piece, okay, which would be the next biggest one, which is yellow. Also, if you want to chalk up these edges at this point, this is a good time to do that. I'm going to try the citrine or the amber. Either one of those would work really well. You can chalk them later. It's just a little easier to do it as you go along. So this is citrine. That's one of the newest colors. Okay, and then once you get that, go ahead and add your... Okay, I'm going to show you what...
And I grabbed, this is fronts and backs.
Oh, okay.
Well, I thought it was. Hang on.
Might be empty.
No, it was kind of messed up. I think that's all. I think that's it. So this one is the front, that's the back side. It
Oh,
kinda
okay.
goes like that.
So this is part of French Riviera. And again, it's all brand new. This black check looks really cool with this, and that's what's on the back side. Okay, there's that.
Good morning, Deidre.
Hi, Dee. And this is the one that we're working with right now. This is another one. Gorgeous. I love this one. And the purple with kind of this wild print. And teal with the stripes. And anyway, that's what that looks like. So if you like that, I think we have all of these in. Everything we have to work with are prototypes until we get paper in, and it just recently came in, and I think they're all here. So now you have the second biggest piece, which is the yellow, and it's scored, folded, chalked. We're going to add adhesive to the floral side on the 1-inch part. And then you're going to center that again onto the purple and fold that around to the back. And then we will go to the next biggest piece, which is purple. And I think I'll add a little chalk to that one.
So they're asking about, will these be used at private reserve? These papers, I believe she's probably asking.
Some of them, yes. Some of them, definitely, yes. We have 3 brand new paper lines, and this is one of them. And yeah, there are, and I will try and show you a couple of sneak peeks of private reserve things in a little bit. But yeah, this is one of them. I love this, so I have a hard time not using it. Okay, then this piece, your adhesive goes on the stripe side. And now this is all double-sided paper, and you can use whatever side you want. This is just the sides that we used, so if you want to turn it to a different side, you feel free to do that. See, this one would be pretty with the stripes also. Center it onto the yellow, fold that flap around to the back. And that's our 3rd piece. And then here's our final piece. I'm going to add some color. I think I'll add some amber to this so you can see what that looks like on it. And since this is the top, the front layer, you can even chalk that fold right along that score line, because this one, it will show, whereas the other ones is all covered up. Okay, so I used amber on that, and then I'm going to add my adhesive to the yellow side. Centered left to right. And there you have all kinds of space now for pictures. So
Nan says hi, Patsy.
Hi, Nan. I think I'll be seeing you in next January. Am I right? I'm thinking you're signed up for the cruise, if I'm guessing right. So I will tell you about some of our travel things that we have going on here in a little bit. So here, now if you want to round corners, you can. I want to. What time is it, Breezy? I need to.
It is. I was trying to find that paper pack. We don't even have that paper up online yet.
Oh, okay. 10 o'clock. It's almost 10. So I think
Yeah,
what
you have 7 minutes till the end of this class.
okay, and then we usually have a half an hour in between, and that gives you time to finish up a lot of this. So we're not going to do this right now, but you have 4 purple tabs, and that goes on to your each page. We stair step them down, and then you have remember this, that's layered, and that goes on as an embellishment here. What we will do, what I am going to show you is this little butterfly, and it goes on like a stencil, and we use these right here for, some of you have these already. There's some already open. They look like this, little teardrops. I love these. So if you want something that you can grab the little point, press it into your ink, and it makes gorgeous, very crisp lines on your stencil. These things are awesome. So I'm going to do one with this butterfly here that goes on to, so see here I did 2 or 3 or 4 different colors on this butterfly. And the colors that it looks like I used are amethyst, blue topaz, we're going to use that. I'm going to say turquoise and amber. There's 4 different colors on this butterfly, so I need to find my pieces. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my lightest color first that I want to use, and you're going to locate a solid butterfly and a butterfly stencil, and both of these are part of the project. But you can see the butterfly stencil is just slightly smaller, and I'm going to layer it up, going to hold on to it, and using one of these daubers, these blenders, I'm going to start up here at the top and add this color in. And if you roll it, you get nice, sharp, crisp, clear. So we do have these available. Now you can use other kind of daubers. We have found that these are just about the best thing there is to use when you want nice, crisp, clear. So there's that. I think I will use, I'm going to use the turquoise, I think. So you just want to make sure you hang on nice and tight to it so it doesn't move. And I'm going to move in some turquoise. And maybe there's only room for 3 colors. We'll just do 3 for now. That'll be enough. I think I want to try the purple, though, the amethyst. And I'm going to hold it down nice and tight here. Press my color in. So use whatever blender tool that you have. And if not, we do have these available. Okay, see how pretty that is? So then you can also go back and use add just a little more color around the edge if you want to. But pretty much that's done. Oh, and we have a train going by. So when you go to attach this, I would just put a little spot of glue on the body of the stencil butterfly. Press it into here, and that way it's more 3D. So see how pretty, isn't that gorgeous? And that's what goes here. Okay, we have a train prize winner, Melanie Sharber. You have won a prize, and we'll get that out to you. Okay, so there is that. And then the only other things that you have that I'm just going to let you work on your own and you can get those put together is you have a big purple circle and another smaller, it looks like a Viewmaster circle that goes around it. Punch those little pieces out. Your bird goes together like this, and I want to show you that too because almost every time somebody ends up getting the wings on upside down, and it is kind of a little bit tricky. So you have wings that look like this, and your bird. So you want to, and this is what I did with this one too. Instead of just chalking the edge, I took this is blue topaz, and I pressed some color in, and it made it with a little bit of a grainy look in it. And then I took my purple, my amethyst, and went around the outside. Look how pretty that is. Went around the outside edge of the bird. And we did the same with the wings. So when you get to the wings, you can do the same exact thing. And it just gives them lots more dimension. So here's the trick. So when you go to put this wing on, your smaller one goes in the back, and the round part goes against the bird, okay? Let me chalk this so you can see it. The round part, not the pointed part, goes against the bird. That's the back wing, and it glues to the back side of your bird. This other wing goes on the front, The larger one goes on front, and you want to make sure that you can get this out of the way. You don't want to cover up the back wing. You want to make it look like the bird is in flight. So that bigger teardrop piece, the round part, glues onto the front of the bird. Small one in the back, bigger one in the front. And that's all there is to that. Your flowers, again, same thing. You can choose whatever color you want to chalk with. Any of these colors will work, gorgeous. And layer them up. You layer them 2 at a time, and you have enough for page 1 and page 2. Put 2 sets on page 2. You have brads to hook them together, and you'll add your little fence. We just put a little bit of purple ink on the edges of the fence, and then you have your birdhouse. You'll assemble a couple of little strands, and that's it. So I think, Breezy, do you have anything you want to?
No, we'll just
Sure.
remind everybody about what the special is. Where did those sheets go?
Right here.
So do you want to show them on that side since it's already hooked up over there? Sorry.
Okay, you get a free card kit with any $40 order or more. This is your promo promo card.
Free card kit is the promo code on it, all one word. And as soon as your order hits $40 before shipping, it will, I had said earlier, it automatically adds it. I'm wrong on that. You need to enter that code. So all day today, as we talk about things, you can add them to your cart and then check out at the end of the day. Enter that coupon code free card kit, and one of these card kits will be included in your shipment. It's random, so there won't be a choice, but we will send a free card kit with your shipment if you use that code. You have to use the code though, otherwise we won't know to send it with the order. So use that coupon code free card kit. All right, I think we are done with this class, so we'll be back with which one is next?
It is Dream.
The Dream class kit at 10:30. So we'll start right back at 10:30. If you don't see the little live icon on a video, refresh till you do. And we'll see you back here in just a bit.